Welcome to the appendix, where we read the primary sources of the past so the present can be better understood. Today's primary source, the Cession of Louisiana, April 30th, 1803. By the Treaty of Fontainebleau of 1762, France ceded Louisiana west of the Mississippi to Spain. By the secret treaty of St. Ildefonso, Spain ceded this territory back to France. This substitution of a powerful for a weak neighbor along the Mississippi and at New Orleans caused consternation in the West and to Jefferson and his advisors. Congress appropriated $2 million for the purchase of New Orleans, and Jefferson dispatched Monroe to cooperate with Livingston to negotiate the purpose. For reasons primarily concerned with the critical military situation on the continent, Napoleon decided to sell the United States the whole of Louisiana, and the cession was accordingly made. By convention of April 30th, 1803, the United States agreed to pay 60 million francs for Louisiana. The most thorough history of the negotiations is H. Adams' History of the United States, Volume 1. Article 1. Whereas by the Article the third of the treaty concluded at St. Ildefonso, the 1st October, 1800, between the First Consul of the French Republic and His Catholic Majesty, it was agreed as follows. His Catholic Majesty promises and engages on his part to cede to the French Republic 6 months after the full and entire execution of the conditions and stipulations herein relative to His Royal Highness the Duke of Parma, the colony or province of Louisiana, with the same extent that it now has in the hands of Spain, and that it had when France possessed it, and such as it should be after the treaties subsequent entered into between Spain and other states. And whereas in the pursuance of the treaty, and particularly of the third article, the French Republic has an incontestable title to the domain and to the possession of the said territory, the First Consul of the French Republic, desiring to give to the United States a strong proof of his friendship, doth hereby cede to the said United States in the name of the French Republic forever and in full sovereignty the said territory with all its rights and appurtenances as fully and in the same manner as they have been acquired by the French Republic, in virtue of the above-mentioned treaty, concluded with His Catholic Majesty. Article 2. In the cession made by the preceding article are included the adjacent islands belonging to Louisiana, all public lots and squares, vacant lands, and all public buildings, fortifications, barracks, and other edifices which are not private property. The archives, papers, and documents relative to the domain and sovereignty of Louisiana and its dependencies will be left in the possession of the commissionaries of the United States, and copies will be afterwards given in due form to the magistrates and municipal officers of such of the said papers and documents as may be necessary to them. Article 3. The inhabitants of the ceded territory shall be incorporated in the Union of the United States, and admitted as soon as possible according to the principles of the Federal Constitution, to the enjoyment of all the rights, advantages, and immunities of the citizens of the United States, and in the meantime they shall be maintained and protected in the free enjoyment of their liberty, property, and the religion which they profess. Article 7. It has been agreed between the contracting parties that the French ships coming directly from France or any of her colonies, loaded only with the produce and manufactures of France and her said colonies, and the ships of Spain coming directly from Spain or any of her colonies, loaded only with the produce and manufactures of Spain on her colonies, shall be admitted during the space of 12 years in the ports of New Orleans, and in all other ports of entry within the ceded territory, in the same manner as the ships of the United States coming directly from France or Spain, or any of their colonies, without being subject to any other or greater duty on merchandise or other or greater tonnage than that paid by the citizens of the United States. Thank you for joining us for our primary source today on the appendix. We will see you in the stacks.